Volo, the man who tore time and space open just before the events of Legends Arceus, personally donated his clothes to the Lumiose Museum sometime before the events of Legends ZA. And after gazing nostalgically at Professor Laventon's sketches, he once again vanished from the public eye. Which raises a simple question: how is that possible? Well, we know AZ possessed a lifespan longer than the average human in the Pokemon world, a staggering 3,000 years, due to his usage of the ultimate weapon. Similarly, Lysandra, or L, also used the ultimate weapon, which inadvertently gave him 3,000 additional years of life too. There's also Kogita, who we assume is near immortal, as she waits for an eternity until the one with the mission appears. Or at least according to Old Verse 12, which we believe Kogita to have written. But Volo is still a mystery, so let's go back in time, before the events of Legends Arceus, before the arrival of the Diamond and Pearl clans and the Celestica people, to the time of the ancient Sinnoh people, when Volo was just a boy. Ever since I was young, whenever I've met with something painful or heartbreak, I couldn't help but wonder why life was so unfair. Why I was cursed to live through such things. Knowing what we know from the time of the survey call, the land of Hisui has always been a rough and harsh place to live. Ursaring viciously attacked anything that moved. Luxray threw thunder at anyone nearing its territory. And Paris ferociously chased unwanted visitors. That's not to say humans weren't violent as well. After all, the Veilstone myth found in the Canalave Library in modern-day Sinnoh tells of a foolish man who smote Pokemon with carefree abandon, potentially shaping the dangerous nature of Pokemon in the Hisui region, coupled with illness, famine, natural disasters, and common accidents. It's plausible that Volo lost many people he cared for as a child, something we all know to be very difficult to deal with. So it's no surprise he found something to escape into. Eventually, I chose to direct all my energy into my own natural curiosity and ambition. And what tickled my curiosity more strongly than anything were the mysteries to be found in legends, in history, in ruins. You see, I fancied that by unraveling these mysteries, I could find out how the world itself came to be. And with that knowledge, maybe even forge a new, better world. So you see, Volo had noble intentions. He wished to lessen the suffering of those around him, to heal the land, its people, and Pokemon alike. But in time, that desire would lead him to a truth far greater and far more dangerous as he dove into the creation myths believed by his people. Ever since I became convinced that Arceus really does exist, my thoughts have been consumed by how to meet it. I bent all my passion and interest into studying Arceus. If I could meet Arceus myself and subjugate its power, what would happen? What could I accomplish? I simply must know. My curiosity cannot be contained. From information we learn in the Lumiose Museum, specifically from Volo's donated attire, we can surmise that his people worshipped Arceus in a religious capacity. Something we may still see in modern-day Sinnoh in the Forum building in Hearthome City, a very church-like building. This outfit is said to be worn by the ancient Sinnoh people during their rituals. This group worshipped the Pokemon Arceus as an almighty deity. It is thought that they showed their respect by mimicking Arceus' appearance, even reflected in the way they styled their hair. And perhaps that wasn't the only way they showed their respect. In an undocumented location somewhere northeast of the Johto region lies the Sinjoh ruins, coated in layers upon layers of snow. It houses the Mystery Stage, a mysterious platform allowing Arceus to create another Dialga, Palkia, or Giratina. But in its distant past, it was once a temple built in Arceus' name, by worshippers of the almighty Sinnoh, perhaps even Volo. But regardless of Volo's involvement in the creation of the Sinjoh temple, he must have visited this ancient complex for one reason or another, but most likely as a form of pilgrimage. And much like the sacred journeys of our world, this journey was made in reverence of Arceus, a practice that would have been familiar to the ancient Sinnoh people. It's here they performed their rituals, in clothing and hairstyles resembling their almighty deity, where they studied, taught, and learned about Arceus together. And for Volo, it would have held deep significance. It was one of these moments that Volo looked up to the sky for a sign when he caught a glimpse of something else. There in the skies above flew Ho-Oh, the legendary Pokemon said to bring eternal happiness to anyone who lay eyes upon it. And for Volo, eternal happiness wasn't his quest for Arceus, that was just his obsession. It was his love and passion for the mysteries to be found in legends, in history, in ruins. Through Ho-Oh, he was granted eternal life to explore those mysteries that had captured him from an early age. I don't think Volo was truly a villain. He laughed and smiled, and he raised Togepi, a friendship evolution Pokemon, to their final evolution. I think he was a good person at heart, taken over by the obsession. He strove for change, a better world where life was fair and no one had to suffer as his people suffered. He just went about it in the wrong way. And perhaps in the end, just like Giratina, he saw the error of his ways, donated his old attire to the Lumiose Museum, symbolically letting go of Arceus. If you've made it to the end of this video, a big thank you to you. And if you really enjoyed this theory, please share it with a friend, give the video a like, maybe consider subscribing, it's free. And with that being said, I'll see you when I see you. And remember, it's all sea elementary, my dear friends. Peace.